In today's video, we're diving into a bit of mystery. I've got this piece of wood. I have no idea what species it is, but it's hollow, it's weird, and it's begging to be turned into something special. I'm going to try stuffing it with this dark, nearly black honeycomb and see if we can turn it into a show-stopping vase. Now, quick bee fact. Every time honeybees use a comb for raising their young, it leaves behind a thin skin. Over time, those layers build up and darken the wax. This comb has been used so many times, it's practically black, and I think it gives it character. Let's see if we can preserve that history and turn it into art. The wood is hollow all the way through, so I had to get creative. I wrapped the outside with plastic wrap to act as a mold for the resin. Now, do I trust this setup? Absolutely not. That's why the whole thing is going into a trash bag that's taped snug against the plastic wrap. If it leaks, and I have a strong feeling it will, I want to make sure it doesn't just ooze everywhere. Alright, time for the moment of truth. Let's pour some resin into this wooden cavern. And yep, it's disappearing. I think it's seeping through the plastic wrap in the layers. I'll just keep topping it off and hope for the best. We're past the point of no return. Into the pressure pot it goes. Fingers crossed. As I feared, the resin made its way into the plastic wrap layers, which means I lost quite a bit of height on the blank. I thought about adding more resin to build it back up, but in the end, I just took a chainsaw to the top and called it good. Now I've got a solid chunk. Let's turn. All that plastic wrap you see are just layers of resin. I'm going to have to rough this out, and I'll spare you that by fast forwarding through this footage. Skipping ahead, we're now shaping the vase. I had to switch over to carbide tools pretty quickly. The honeycomb just didn't play nice with anything else. It's wax after all, and the bond between wax and resin isn't exactly bulletproof. When the vase is done, any exposed wax will need to be sealed in. I'm marking the size of the tenon here, and as you can see I had to remove a huge chunk of the honeycomb. It was just unstable and I didn't trust it. But I have a plan to address that. In the meantime, let's turn this tenon and get it mounted over onto the chuck. Before we move on, I need to deal with the hole from the missing honeycomb. Also, whatever this mystery wood is, some boring insects had a field day with it. The good news is the sawdust they left behind hardened up beautifully inside the holes. I want to preserve that natural texture, so I'm stabilizing it all with UV resin, so later when I sand, it will give a consistent surface and everything will be smooth. So now that that outer surface is locked in, I'm flattening the top and shaping it a bit, so we can hollow the center. Starting with a small Forstner bit makes it easier to follow up with a larger one. I was originally going to go for a wide opening, but check out that bit of honeycomb right there at the top. I want to preserve that on the rim if I can. With the center drilled, I'm gently curving the inside walls. Normally, I try to get the walls thin for elegance, but this time I'm going to keep them thick. That way we preserve as much honeycomb as possible. It's fragile and I want it to shine. Here's a little slow-mo shot of all the debris getting blasted out at the end of the hollowing. Always fun to watch. We're nearly there. I've patched all the fragile comb, stabilized it again, and sanded the whole piece up to 1000 grit. Now it's time to seal the surface with a thin layer of resin that'll lock away any wax and give us a nice polished finish. Time to part it off. Since we kept the walls a bit thick, the vase is too heavy for the vacuum chuck, So I'm finishing the bottom the old-fashioned way, by hand sanding. Takes longer, but it's worth it. I've named this piece Hidden Honey. I still have no idea what kind of wood it is. So if you recognize it, drop a comment, let me know. Thanks for following along on this weird, wonderful journey. Now, sit back, enjoy some close-up shots of the final piece.